All right, what is up, guys? This is the second episode of the DualShock and Sense Podcast. I am your host, Jay. With me, as always, are my two wonderful guests, our co-hosts. We got Macho. How you doing, man?
What's going on, everybody? It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy fanatic. How's it going?
Man, I for real need a better intro than whatever I said, man, because that one was great, man. The king of Kingdom Hearts, man. I love that. Um, And then we also got my other co-host, Walter. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I might not be king of any particular franchise, but I do love me some Yakuza. I do love me some JRPGs, that anime weep shit. We we're gonna talk about all the goodness that happened yesterday.
How about this? You're the Yakuza boss.
Ooh,
Yeah,
like
man.
that. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
and my own family.
There you go.
Man, yeah. What would now I'm imagining like what your Yakuza family would look like. You know what I mean?
Bro, they
Like,
all represent a different game of PlayStation.
bro, and you know how like each Yakuza boss fight starts off with like that giant ass like title card. And I'm just imagining like as the boss battle starts, it's like bam, like Walter Rodriguez. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, patriarch of the Rodriguez family. or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be hype,
Dang,
man.
now I kind of need that game.
Yeah,
That'd
that'd
be
be
pretty
hype.
hype.
Yeah, for sure. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about because, funnily enough, PlayStation had themselves a pretty a roller coaster of a week to say the least. So we'll definitely get into that. Some of the things we'll talk about, the days gone going to PC. We'll talk about the state of play. We'll talk about the reorganizing, reshuffling of Japan Studio, all that stuff. But to start off with, we are going to, I think, breeze through what games we have been playing recently. Because like I said, there is a lot to talk about. So, guys, just tell me like what games have you guys been playing as of late? Has anything changed from the stuff you guys played from the last podcast? Macho, what are you playing right now?
I started to dive into Witcher 3 again on PC.
My
Uh,
man.
yeah, I've been enjoying that. I played for most of the day yesterday, before work, before I do any other responsibilities. But it's just I'm like in the last third of the game where you're at Kaer Morhen, you're kind of grouping everybody up for like the big fight.
Oh man.
Um, so
Best
I'm starting
part.
to get there, and I'm really looking forward to kind of finishing that and starting Blood and Wine, which is like one of the
Yes.
best expansions ever made.
Yes.
And at the same time, I'm dipping my toes into Final Fantasy 14 every now and then, just to level up some classes. And then since it's Friday, February 26th, today, Bravely Default 2 came out. So I am going to go ham on that for the entire weekend, when I'm not doing wedding responsibilities.
Nice, nice.
Ooh, nice.
What about you, Walter? What you got?
Oh man, I was on a hunting spree this last week. I got myself three titles. I got Mario 3D World, obviously Nintendo. I got Persona 5
Ooh,
Phantom Strikers. Oh, now that is beauty. That
tell
is
me,
Good.
tell me, tell me about that.
that is the sequel. That is, I mean, obviously not Royal, the original vanilla Persona 5. That is, it's so seamless how you just transition from the story. It's one big chunk of the story. The combat, it is Muso, it is a Warriors as game, but you can tell that they gave it the Persona flair. They gave it that, like, it's kind of like a mixture because you don't immediately just go into battle. You have to, ambush them, take off the mask, and then they all appear. And like you have your Persona 5 touches here and there. The visuals, as always, man, the style, oh my god. It's oozing with style. Persona always has that flair, that beauty, that acid jazz funky. Ooh,
Yeah,
it's so good.
it's nice. It's
And
nice to know that that still was like able to be translated into a Muso game.
oh, for sure, for sure. I've been doing that, and I've been weaving out in another area with E's Monstrum Nox. I recently just got into the E series. I just beat Origins this past week. I restarted it with a different character because it has like 3 campaigns. And I'm just diving more into JRPGs and whatnot. And I got super excited for um it's on my radar now for Kena uh
Yeah.
I
Bridge
think they
of
said
Spirits.
Kina, right?
Yeah, I
Kena?
think Kino, yeah.
Okay,
I think so.
Kena Bridge of Spirits. It's looking I love indie looking titles and it looks incredible.
Definitely. Um, cool. So, for me, it's it's literally just a repeat of what I played, what I said I was playing last week. Still hopping in every now and then for Destruction All Stars. Um,
How is that?
Yeah, you got a nice little roadmap, huh? For the next couple months.
uh, yeah, man, we hyped over here. The little five of us still playing the game is hyped for that.
Dang.
Um, nah, but yeah, I'm you know what, I'm still enjoying it. It's like there was a time when I was playing the other day and I was like, you know what, I'm having fun.
That's all that matters.
um,
You know what? I'm enjoying my time.
yeah, I had like a little, self-reflective moment. I was just sitting in my chair and like this light bulb switched, and I was like, you know what, this is
This
fun.
is, you know what? I don't regret my decisions.
Right, for sure. So yeah, definitely that. Chipping away at Shadow of the Tomb Raider still.
Mm.
Um, I think I'm like 30, like the game says I'm like 34% like complete with it. I don't know if like I have to hit like 100% to like complete the story. I don't think that's the case, but I am making, some progress into that. And then more Hitman, dude, just more Hitman. Actually last night I finished Hitman 1. um it ends off with this like Japanese themed level called Hokkaido, and you're basically like in this like weird hotel resort that has like a weird hospital that conducts these weird like facial reconstruction surgeries, and it's up in these like snow-capped mountains, and it's just like it's absolutely gorgeous, dude, because it's like super clean and high tech. um and I was just having fun, like exploring and like locating like all the different ways I could kill my targets. There's like this one way where I could dress up as this target's yoga instructor, and we were doing yoga on like her patio or something like that, and like we were doing all these different moves, and eventually she got to like the ledge of like her patio, and then I was doing like downward dog or something like that, and then I got up and pushed her off the patio. And I don't know, man, it's just the wacky stuff like that that I just absolutely love. um so yeah, I finished Hitman 1 last night. I can't wait to get into Hitman 2. I'm a little bit nervous because like the kind of general consensus with Hitman 2 is that the levels are even more they're even larger than the ones in Hitman 1 and 3, to a point that some people felt like even more overwhelmed than usual. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. But Hitman 2 has a level called Miami, which is like one of the best in the series, so I can't wait to finally dive into that one. But yeah, man, Hitman is the game that's really been like taking up all my time. And Walter, I promise you, my man, I'm gonna get into that Persona 5 Strikers soon enough.
You
That's
better, man.
Yeah, that's gonna happen soon for sure.
Oh, I'm
Um,
platinuming that. I'm getting that platinum.
how's the trophy list looking? Is it like a lot or?
Oh, I mean, I got so carried away just playing. I haven't looked at it because I got home yesterday night and because I was out of town, so I played the time I got when I got here. So I haven't really delved into all that, but I'll let you know uh for next week if you haven't played, which I think you won't because I think you were also playing Witcher still.
Um, Not really actually.
Did you drop it because you were like just hopping back?
Yeah, like I think I just jumped in for a little bit and then yeah, just like dropped it.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
sinking another 75 hours in.
yeah. Nah, not anytime soon.
Gotcha.
Some point this year for sure, yeah, but not right now.
Yeah, your
Um,
annual Witcher marathon.
yeah, definitely.
When that show
Um,
comes around,
No,
yeah,
for sure.
man,
second
maybe,
season.
maybe.
True that.
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for the games that we played this week. So we'll jump into these topics, man. Like I said, we had a lot to talk about because PlayStation had themselves a week. Um, so where should we? You know what? Let's start off with this most recent state of play. So yesterday, PlayStation had themselves a little 30-minute state of play. They showed off 10 titles. They called it deep dives into each one of these titles, from third parties and indies, which I think is a very like. Let me start off by saying that really quickly, and then I want you guys to give like your impressions of the show. The one thing that kept my expectations like in check was in the blog post. They said not only that they said that it was going to be a 30-minute show, but they also said it like explicitly that this was third party and indie titles, right? So there was no mention of first party stuff. So in my mind, I was like, okay, so all the people who are expecting Horizon, God of War, expecting, big titles like Elden Ring, a Metal Gear Solid remake or Silent Hill or whatever, I was like, you guys are crazy because they explicitly laid out, like, at least in my opinion, they laid out what was going to be in the show. So when I came into it, I was like, you know what? If they give me a Kenna release date, I'm happy. Like that's all I really need. So for that, like I thought the show was like probably their best state of play, but again, that's not really saying much at the same time. Um, but what did you guys think overall about the show?
You can go ahead and start, Macho.
All right. So yeah, I mean, just reiterating what you just said, they definitely did specify that it's only going to be indies and third party. So I didn't really know what to expect. I was expecting more new stuff than just kind of updates on games that are coming. But one of the games that was nice to see have an update in a trailer in it was Returnal. I think that game looks exceptionally good, and it looks like a roguelike kind of game, but like a
Yeah,
super
yeah.
high produced roguelike. So coming off of Hades, that's kind of like, oh man, this kind of has my eye. But yeah, a lot of stuff they show was some of his updates, some of the stuff was actually new things, which was actually pretty cool. But the one thing that I was hoping out of it showed up, and it showed up big, like real big.
That Final
So
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 7 remake, man. Yeah, it's getting an
Ooh.
update on PS5. And that was I don't know if you want to get into it or if you just want to stick to show
I mean, yeah, we
opinions.
we can definitely get into it. I mean, I was excited just purely based off the fact that like this is going to be like finally my chance to get into 7 because last year I didn't get into it, or I didn't buy it at all, because I think there was like just a lot of stuff coming out at that time.
Mhm.
So it just kind of like completely missed me. So yeah, I'm excited to like this feels like the actual like definitive version, with 4K and 60 FPS, and now this added episode with Yuffie. So like I'm definitely excited to like this feels like my chance to finally get into it.
Yeah, I can't support that enough, especially for people who haven't played Final Fantasy 7 remake. This is the absolute best way to do it. It's I can't believe that it's like they're doing so much with it. And the thing is, if you own the PS4 copy, which I think is $30 on Amazon right now, you get the PS5 upgrade for free. Now, I will say though, let me see. Yeah, I mean, it's PS Plus news, but for people that are subscribed to PS Plus, they're actually getting Final Fantasy 7 remake as a game in that lineup.
That's wild, man.
But you cannot upgrade to the PS5 version if you redeem Final Fantasy 7 remake through PS Plus. Or
Wait, wait, wait,
yeah,
wait, 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 wait. I'm like, I maybe I skimmed through that. Wait, what are the PlayStation Plus games?
they're well, one of them is Final Fantasy 7 remake, and then the other is a VR game called Farpoint, and then two other ones.
Remake? Really?
Yeah. Final Fantasy 7 remake is actually a PS Plus game for March. But again, if you redeem Final Fantasy 7 remake through PS Plus, you cannot get the PS5 version upgrade. You actually have to
Yeah.
buy Final Fantasy 7 remake on PS5.
Interesting.
They
I guess
want
this
you
is a
they
way
want
of
you
them
to
of
wait for
dipping their
that.
toes.
They want you to wait for that integrate, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know what the deal is. I think it's probably because like through PS Plus, you don't really own the game technically. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess they can't recognize. I don't know, but I think they should just give it to you for free. But that's besides the point. But yeah, I mean, the PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake is the trailer just blows my mind, man. They're really doing it. Like they're going all out with like you said. So with the performance mode being 60 frames per second, and then graphics mode like prioritizing 4K, faster loading, and finally we don't have the butt textures, like the super nasty
Yeah.
PS1 looking textures on PS4
That
with the
JPEG,
backgrounds.
Hey man, that
It's
was wild, man.
that PNG in the back.
yeah, it was the funniest callback to PS1 graphics.
Hey man, that was that Microsoft Paint graphics right there.
It was insane, but yeah, man, it's like it's they're really going above and beyond my expectations with it, and I had huge expectations for Final Fantasy VII Remake, like, and I had little faith in Square Enix to do something super well when it comes to their writing or even production value for some of this stuff, as far as like boss fights or level design. And they really stepped their game up for remakes. So anybody who hasn't played it, you're in for a treat, man. Like this game is like the full package, and the fact that PS5 version is going to be even better, it's going to look better, it's going to play better, and it's going to even have more story stuff for people to dive into. I can't wait. It's gonna June can't come here soon enough.
So let me ask you this, as someone who didn't play remake, how lengthy are like the individual chapters? Because like I'm just like wondering how substantial is this Yuffie chapter? Like, should we expect this to be more than a couple hours, or like how would it compare to like the normal like chapter lengths from the main game?
Sure. So, well, the thing is, when it comes to the Final Fantasy VII remake, they're calling each game like a part, like a part one, part two, and stuff like that. That's how they're kind of, at least that's how we're kind of labeling it as, where every part is a full length game. So, Final Fantasy VII remake, the base game itself will run you 30 to 40 hours, so regular JRPG length, give or take. And then this Yuffie episode, it's kind of hard to say since it's kind of like DLC, and it seems to be like in the middle of what Final Fantasy VII Remake story is. Then it could probably run you maybe a couple of hours. Again, we're not really sure how they're gonna play it out. Whether it takes place after Final Fantasy VII Remake and Yuffie meets up with the gang afterwards, or is it in between the storyline and she kind of it's kind of like you kind of guess that she's gonna end up with them in part two. So we don't really know how long like this Yuffie episode is, but Final Fantasy Remake itself, the game is running like 30, 40 hours. So there's a good chunk of game in there for people who are wondering.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
and even more when you compare it to the original, where it was like what, like a 5 hour section, like the Midgard, or
Yep.
like
Yeah.
so.
The first section of the game, which is in Midgar, was around 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And that's 30 to 40 hours in remake. And you would think like, oh my god, that's super bloated, but no, like they
Mm,
really added a lot of substantial stuff to flesh out and just bring more life to these characters than I could ever imagine.
yeah,
Like
and I.
it's kind of insane, and the best part about it is the dialogue, which when they talk back and
Mhm.
forth, it doesn't feel like you're playing a Square Enix video game from like from the past. Like you're not playing Final Fantasy 15 where the dialogue's a little cringy and kind of just all over the place. This is actually like it feels way more polished and it feels more real, which like again it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. So that was definitely like your standout title from the show, right?
Oh man, I was jumping out of my seat. I couldn't. I was jumping out of my seat when I started hearing the music, and then I started seeing the visuals, and then all right, I cried. I'm just gonna say I
I
cried.
cry every time.
I got a little teary eyed when they started playing the main theme, and then you start seeing like they had like in the trailer they split the screen so that it shows you the difference between PS4 and PS5. When I saw Cloud walking in with like the light shining in from above on the city plate, and then the music starts swelling up. Like, oh man, I can't, bro. It's I started getting a little teary. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, so this was something I was gonna ask you, was the character who shows up in the end of the Yuffie sort of reveal, who had this like this all white sort of Dragon Ball Z haircut, man. I was watching Easy Allies their reaction to it, and I don't know if you watched them, but one of the guys in the group, he was kind of like he was kind of like putting his hands on his head, like, what, why are they bringing him in like now? Like
Yeah.
he just seemed like really shocked that this guy was making an appearance. Is it like something that they're messing with the lore or something, or like what's going on with him?
Yeah, so Final Fantasy VII Remake, what it does really well in the first part is that since Final Fantasy VII has grown, has like a whole bunch of like compilation titles in its universe for like the past 20 years, they obviously branched into different games. So you have Crisis Core on PSP, Dirge Cerberus on PS2, um, the movie Advent Children. So what Final Fantasy VII Remake does is it kind of like puts in those nuggets of information from those compilation titles into this one. So we get like little callbacks to Crisis Core, or like mentions, or like maybe like melodies from Advent Children, which is why like Final Fantasy VII Remake is such a great celebration of Final Fantasy VII, which makes it so much fun to like be a part of. And this guy, whose name is Weiss the Immaculate, he's from Dirge Cerberus 587. And this is when Square Enix and Tetsuya Nomura, the creator of Kingdom Hearts, also were at their peak emo stage. Um, and
Rawr.
yeah, no, this guy's in Dirge Cerberus 587, which is the PS2 game. He's originally shirtless, so he actually has something, he actually has a coat now. And the reason why some people kind of groan about this, because Dirge Cerberus is not a good game and it's very cringy. Square Enix, like, again, at its cringiest. And the fact that this guy is showing up could mean one or two things. It can mean the story's going in directions where it's gonna get even more ridiculous, or this could hopefully just be a VR battle in the game, because in the game you can go to this arena, you could participate in VR like arena fights. Hopefully this guy is just like a super boss in the game and doesn't really have much weight in the actual story.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be a chance to, like, since you said Cerberus wasn't is like, so emo, maybe this is a chance to look kind of like do right by his character or something.
I got a question
Yeah.
for Macho though, because why, man? Just why? Why a battle royale?
I had to leave. Actually, I had to go. I can't do the podcast anymore.
Macho, listen. I was pumped. Listen, I didn't watch it live. I watched it after it was posted, the state of play, right? And I was watching it. I was hyped. I saw Kina. Oh, looking nice. I saw Returnal. It reminded me of Recore from the Xbox. That roguelike.
Oh no, that's not a good comparison.
No. Listen. The third person playing aspect is what I mean. The game itself, let's not talk about it, but this is what I do want to talk about. We see Final Fantasy, we see this beautiful episode that they're adding, the new cast member. Ooh, who is she? Maybe we know her, maybe we don't. But then a battle royale, where are we dropping? What is this? What's
Right.
happening, Macho?
So I'll kind of gloss over what the other announcements, because what Walter's referring to is that besides Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is the PS5 version, they also announced two other mobile games,
Damn.
which are Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which is the battle royale game that you're talking about, and then Ever Crisis. Ever Crisis is way more exciting.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's another remake of Final Fantasy VII, but going through the entire timeline in this chapter based like kind of mode. But the battle royale action game, man, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I'm looking at it now, and I never played a battle royale game, so to me this is completely unappealing. But since it's in the Final Fantasy VII universe, I'll try it out. I have no idea. I think they're honestly just following the trend, and the fact that it's only on mobile is kind of weird too. I
I
think they're
mean,
more just testing the waters to see like what they can do.
But
because
that's definitely gonna hit in Japan though.
oh, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
Sure.
as absurd as it was, Tetris 99, it works. I like it. It works. Tetris 99, as bizarre as one might say, oh, it's a battle royale with Tetris, which in reality, it's a lot more engaging than it is. And I assume maybe this Final Fantasy, I'm just jumping the gun, and maybe it'll be phenomenal. It'll be game changing. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the best battle royale, better than Fortnite. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
That's
the
some
only,
lofty expectations, man.
the only thing about this one's like, of course, it's gonna have those Final Fantasy elements, and it's gonna be definitely rooted in as like an RPG as well.
Mm-hmm.
But just from like the gameplay alone, it looks rough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to really make of it, but I mean, I'll check it out. It's just I don't know. I think it's for them. It's just like another experimentation they could do to kind of get into that other scene and kind of get more people involved in Final Fantasy.
You're
So
right.
this is one way to do it since battle royales are kind of the rage.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just like, I just like busting balls. It's because it's a meme, it's a meme. It's what other game is gonna get a battle royale? Am I right? What's next?
Trust
Freaking
me, one of my friends on Twitter was like, "Man, just think about it. Some people are gonna be introduced to Final Fantasy through a battle royale," and I was just like, I hung my head because I'm just like, no. I was like, absolutely
what's
not.
next? Kingdom
No.
Hearts? What's next? Kingdom Hearts
I
battle
know,
royale?
I
Hey
know some
man,
people actually want that. I'm just like,
would
no,
you
please stop.
would you rather them be introduced to Final Fantasy VII through like Final Fantasy porn or something, or through a battle
Whether I
royale?
want it or not, people already doing it. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
like if it gets them into this series, why not? You know?
Yeah, man. It's all
Oh,
about that entryway.
You know what, Jay?
exactly.
You got a point, man.
Hey
Battle Royale's
Yeah.
not that bad.
yeah, man.
Yeah, battle royale's nice. Give every game a battle royale.
What do they call it? They call weed like the gateway drug, right? So maybe this
Yeah,
is this
yeah,
is
yeah.
this is what it is for Final Fantasy. Um,
Yay.
but
Hey man, I mean, whatever they want to go with, man.
What was
I'll be there. I'll be there.
let's
what
circle back.
else?
Let's circle back to the state of play. So Walter, what did you think? What was some standout titles for you?
Well, man, I've been as absurd as my comparisons are and expectations. I do internally, I keep them on the low because I've been disappointed enough times to just take it easy, be cautiously optimistic. I worked with the Pokemon presentation, and it worked with state of play, and I'm not, because it was mentioned by both of you and it's y'all's favorite, but honestly, just gotta be honest, like the Final Fantasy remake, the upgrade. I just got a new TV. Even though I don't have the PS5, it gives me an incentive to be like, okay, now I really want a PS5 and I need to find it whenever it's available. Um, Returnal Returnal looks interesting. As much as I grow frustrated with certain roguelikes, because it is a frustrating genre if you're easily frustrated. Like Hades. Hades, you're in this groove, you're in the zone, but once you die, you either, oh wait, I can learn, or screw this, I'm not playing ever again. But Returnal is looking mighty fine. And I don't know what was that at the end. I don't know if that was just like a cutscene or if there's like a first person section or whatever. But it looked interesting. It gave me some horror vibes there in the end.
Yeah, that's super cool, right? Like
Right?
I was
It
like,
went
what's going on?
it went from third person immediately to first person once she entered the house, which was really interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
they've teased that before, and it looks really really cool because it's something about like she talks about something like regarding piecing together like memories or something along those lines, and
mm,
yeah, I agree, it definitely looks interesting. my
yeah,
one my one concern with it is like in comparison to Hades, even though I haven't played it, I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It seems like in Hades there's like just based off of like you can have like a lot of like new interactions with characters based off of like when you die or whatever, like something new will happen
mhm.
with a character. And like
Yeah, that's correct.
I just feel like with Returnal, like it's only been Celine that we've seen, like it's only been her, and I kind of worry about, these elements of the world changing, but what about like the things within it? Like I feel like it might be a little bit bland in comparison to that because it's really only her that's walking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do hope if they go with a certain approach that Haiti does, which is you're kind of encouraged to die in a way, because correct, once you start over, you have new interactions, you have new abilities, you have more story, you have more lore, you have different dialogue options with the ones at the base of hell. um with Returnal, if it's a piecing memories together sort of thing, they could very well do the once you die, you get a different piece of the puzzle. And
Yeah,
as
sure.
you go on, maybe the world changes, but there are certain sections that are fixed and only and require you to maybe just die continuously until you figure it out. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, like the game has to have a pretty strong and focused narrative to kind of keep you going in the sense,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, so it's like if the world is really as interesting as they want to make it out to be, then I think they're gonna have a hit on their hands because remember it's Housemark.
Yeah.
They their ability to create addicting and super fun gameplay loops is one of the best. I
Yeah,
feel.
that's I feel like that's the conundrum right there, is that like I have no doubt in my mind that, the game side of it, the actual, like once you get your hands on the controller, that will be fine. Like Housemark knows
Yeah.
how to make a damn good bullet hell kind of shooter. So I'm not
Hmm.
worried about that at all. It's just more so like I not even a concern. I'm just interested to see how they do a story of this caliber, because this is, in comparison to what they've done in the past, this is sort of, they're definitely, like, there is a huge step up to what they've done before.
Oh, for sure. It's a lot. It's much larger in scale in terms of narrative. I feel like, which I do think that they'll keep revealing more on that side, but they're just making sure that like it's gonna be fun. It's engaging. It's repetitive, but it's varied. You'll have different kinds of experiences every time you die. What else did I like? Let's say to play. Honestly, I mean, I've had my eye on it for a while, but Kina, yeah, it just set it down as a title I'm gonna be purchasing.
God, that trailer blew me away. Like, I don't know, like I don't like it's not, I don't know if it's hyperbole or not, but
Mhm.
like I know obviously games like Red Dead or Last of Us are more like graphically, you probably consider them more graphically,
Impressive.
yeah, but like what Kina is doing with its art style is just like, I think it's probably like the most beautiful game I've ever seen. Like absolutely incredible. Like when I look at that game in motion, it's insane, dude. I feel like I like, it's the same reaction I had watching Ratchet and Clank 2016 for the first
Mm-hmm.
time. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm legit watching like a Pixar movie in motion, but I'm actually like, I have, control of it. Like that's kind of how it feels.
I
Most
I know
definitely.
exactly why you love it, and it's for the same reasons I love that trailer too, and just the game overall. I'm looking forward to it. It's because, well, one, we're Sly Cooper fans, and it definitely has kind of like those like third person action kind of vibes to it, which is cool.
I
But
did
also
not even think
because,
about that.
but also because it's the games that we used to play on PS2, like Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter. But it's the notches are up to 11 at this point, and it looks like it has that feel of those past games that we loved back then.
God, do you remember Tack and the Power of Juju?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
it's honestly what I, probably my 10-year-old mind imagined Tack and the Power of Juju was, but it was like nowhere near this impressive.
Yeah, that's what when I was looking at the trailer, I kept like thinking like, oh my gosh, I mean, we were at that point with Ratchet and Clank in 2016, but like we're at that point with like these past kind of like sort of cartoonish games, but with like adult themes in it, are making a resurgence. And this one is just, like you said, I can't believe how good it looks either. Like it's insane.
Yeah, and it seems like more like I don't know, like more expansive or bigger than what I imagined. Like obviously I'm not saying that this is gonna be like a goddamn, like 60, 80 hour open world RPG or anything like that. But like I didn't know that there was gonna be, some sort of like climbing system. The combat seems like there's a lot more to it than just swinging the staff around. There seems like there's a lot of exploration. Um, I don't know. It just seems like there's definitely a little bit more to it than what I had previously imagined the game would be. Um, so yeah, I definitely appreciate the kind of deep dive that we got into this game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good action adventure platformer.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, we were getting Ratchet and Clank into the Rift in June, but
Yeah,
this
y'all are.
this one's way more like it gives me those past PS2 vibes that I've been wanting.
You heard Walter.
What do you say?
Y'all are
He's
getting it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good for y'all. Yeah, good for y'all.
It's on PS4, my man. You got
No,
this.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
It
you want my
is.
PS4 to break? What like nah,
No,
nah.
it is. I swear to you, it is.
The original one, yeah, but not the sequel, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh no no no
Yeah.
no!
Macho,
I'm
Macho,
sorry. I
Macho's
thought
just
Macho, don't
trying
do
to.
this to me, Macho.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Kina. I thought you were talking about Kina.
Oh no, Kina, yeah, no. But when you mentioned Ratchet and Clank, you mentioned, oh, we're getting Ratchet and Clank, and I'm like, y'all are, yeah,
yeah.
like,
Macho was trying to pull the wool over your eyes, man. He was
don't worry, it'll be all right.
for sure.
No, no, it's looking mad beautiful. And when you mentioned the whole visual aspect of it, it's the same way I find, obviously not comparing the games, but the idea and the feeling of when I play Life is Strange, the idea of it being hand painted, that a particular design to the game visually, that's what's so appealing of it. And I completely see that. It is a Pixar. It reminds me a lot of that the new trailer for the new Disney movie, Rena,
Oh Raya, yeah, Raya.
Raya the Last Dragon, or
Yeah,
whatever.
definitely.
Yeah, it reminds me of that a lot. But yeah, I think those were the big ones. Dude, Sifu. Dude.
Yeah, man.
Dude.
That dude, I had the funniest reactions to that game because I forgot where it placed, but like in like the show, like what number it was specifically. But I
Uh-huh.
remember like as soon as Crash showed up, that was the first thing that came up. I was like, oh, okay, I know exactly what this state of play is gonna be. It's gonna be exactly like the one from last August that they showed, like where they basically showed like a bunch of like mid titles, and I
And
was
just
like,
and just yeah, just updates we already heard about.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I was like, okay, this is we're probably gonna get another odd world, look into that. I
Okay.
was really I was like, if they show Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm gonna turn this thing off.
Yeah, people
And
were saying Silent Hill. I was
yeah,
crying.
yeah, yeah. So like as soon as they show Crash, and I was like, okay, I know what this is pretty much gonna be like. But then Sifu came, and like in the
Psych.
beginning of the trailer, I was like, man, whatever, I don't want to see this. But then once the combat started, I was like, hold up, wait a minute, wait
Go
a
back, go
minute.
back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me what did you think about it?
Immediately, okay, it started. Yeah, same feeling. Slow. I was kind of okay. I'll look around as I listen to this. I won't really look at it. Once the combat started, I immediately, as soon as I heard a hit connect, I'm like, oh, this is Absolver combat. Oh, this is Absolver combat. And as soon as they went more into it, I'm like, oh my god, the in the hallway fighting, the martial arts of it, the visuals, the art design that they're going for, it looks very much like a little bit of Absolver, but a bit more refined, because Absolver was kind of all over the place. It wasn't a bad game, but it lasted what it lasted. But it's looking mighty customizable. I would feel like you can customize certain moves just how like Absolver did. It looks intense. It is indeed an intense kung fu experience.
Yeah, for sure. There was like this I don't know if like news of this came out like afterwards, but it was very clearly shown in the trailer like when he started like aging. You know how his beard progressively got
Yeah,
thicker and
yeah.
thicker, and then eventually he got white hair. Um, I thought originally that was just showing that, like, this is gonna be a long journey, right?
Mhm.
But it actually turns out that there's like this mechanic that when you die, the character ages a little bit. So that's what the trailer was showing. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's a really, really cool touch.
Man, you don't have to sell the game more to me. That's like insane. That sounds dope
Yeah,
as
dude.
hell.
Right?
That sounds
In my
different.
head, I thought it was like another roguelike, where you kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you kind of had like those kind of not generation. You kind of had like those game mechanics where every time you die, there's like a mechanic that happens that kind of influences what you do or how you look.
For sure.
But it does look really good. I had a couple of thoughts going into it when I first saw the trailer. The first was I hope this game is not in the hallway the entire time,
Mhm.
and the this and
I don't think so.
yeah, it gave me Daredevil season one vibes. I was like, okay, this is actually pretty dope.
Right.
But then I was like, all right, let me see a new environment just to make
All
sure
right,
it's
get
not
me
in
out of this hallway.
um yeah, so I mean, but and other than that, I don't want the hits to sound like we're like punching clothes, and
Mhm.
I feel like the hits lack a little bit of impact whenever I'm actually looking at footage. Maybe it feels better like when you're actually playing the game, but yeah, every time he's hitting something, it sounds like he's punching like a blanket or something.
I feel like if they go heavy with the haptic feedback, it'll feel amazing. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just the sound effects are a little weird to me. I'm expecting here to go
Yeah.
like psh, 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 instead he goes like I'm just like okay.
Yeah. How it go, macho? How it go?
Hey,
Instead of the pow pow pow, it goes the pow pow.
Yeah, it goes like I'm just like
Yeah.
Macho was beatboxing, man.
Dude, we gotta talk about that Knockout City. I'm kidding. No, I'm not shitting on the game. I'm not shitting on the
super
game.
dodgeball.
Please, please,
Yeah, dodgeball. As much as I enjoy dodgeball, that's just it'll be what it is. I don't
please,
know if y'all
man.
want to talk about that one,
I'm about to end the podcast if we get into that.
but you can become a ball. No, I'm kidding. Okay, yeah, well,
Man,
You
I
could
was about
become
to
the
say,
ball.
you cannot give Destruction All Stars slander and then go to Knockout City and say that this game looks lit, man. You can't. I don't want to
hey
hear it.
man, hey man. I mean, they're sports games. They're all sports games. They're trying to do what Rocket League and all these like competitive sports, intense, whatever they are, category they are in. Uh, it'll be what it is. What else happened,
I would have took a shot if they said esports in the trailer.
No, for sure.
bro? Bro,
Um, but
Five Nights at Freddy? Nah, we're not talking about that.
yeah, not that one. So I think that was, at least for me personally. I don't know if you guys had other standouts, but oh, and Solar Ash looked pretty cool. I
Yeah,
never
looks
that
beautiful.
it heavily reminded me of the Pathless because I just recently finished that like last month, I
Yeah,
think.
that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not gonna lie, it reminded me of Fury a little bit.
Yeah, that art style, yeah.
Yeah, the art style, the design of the character itself, it reminded me of the villain of Fury.
Yeah, I get like hyper light drift vibes from it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's from the same team who made the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Heart Machine.
Oh, wow.
yeah. They
Yeah.
make some hard games, hard, and I mean hard.
So so yeah, it's like just kind of like to wrap up for me personally, and then you guys can go ahead and tell me what worked for you. Solar Ash, the Final Fantasy remake, uh and then Sifu, Returnal, and Kina. Oh, and Deathloop as well
Yeah,
was, that was honestly, that was probably like my favorite trailer for Deathloop. But like that's 6 out of the 10 titles. Like the rest, Oddworld, what was it, Five Nights at Freddy's, Crash, and then the Dodgeball. I don't even remember the name of that one.
just
Um,
blank it out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Those 4 titles, like it's whatever to me. But those other 6 titles, I was like 6 out of 10. Like that's, I guess that's my score for this thing. It's a 6 out of 10. So like that's all I can really ask for. If I can get like 1 or 2 things that really appeal to me, then like it's a decent show to me. So what were the titles that like? I guess kind of rephrase the question. What would you guys like score the state of play?
Mm. You go ahead, Macho.
Mm,
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll go the same score, like 6 out of 10, just because, like you said, like the stuff that showed that were in there, like Returnal, obviously the Final Fantasy update, and Kina were so like great to see, and finally to have like release dates for some of these things, and just like more information on some of them was superb. But I feel like the pacing was kind of just, it got real slow in the middle of it, and then of course they had to have like their one banger at the end. But I don't know. I will put Crash 4 on that list of games that I'm looking forward to, because I actually didn't pick it up when I first played it, and I really like the Crash games. And so the fact that this one's kind of getting its PS5 update and it's coming out pretty soon, I might pick that up.
I can vouch for that. I've never owned an actual Crash game. I've only rented them for back when Blockbuster was a thing or whatever it was. Not Blockbuster. It was the video here in
Hollywood Videos.
No, it was a local one here in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a family owned. I picked up Crash 4, and honestly, it's a solid Crash game. It's just as hard. It's just as engaging. It is long. It has its variety and level design. It's enjoyable. So I would definitely pick it up for PS5 if I didn't have it, and by having it, I'll just upgrade it. Something I'll reiterate in the future whenever we're scoring again. I usually don't believe in scoring personally. I usually just go by saying if I enjoyed it, if it was good, it was meh, it was bad, but I don't really go by numbers. But for the sake of at least establishing something concrete here, I didn't really have expectations set. I would put it in like a 6 or 7, 7.5 maybe, just for the sake of none of these titles really hit as hard as like maybe Final Fantasy hits with Macho, or like Kina hit with Jay. But overall, they're all games that I'll be picking up, and I'll know if they're good if I really connected as soon as I play them. Obviously, as all games. But something I'm really enjoying about at least this podcast and the people involved here, all three of us, is that we, for now, I don't know in the future, but we might get a bit harsh on other presentations, but if there's one or two things that we enjoy, then that's enough for me, at least. If there's one thing that I enjoy of a presentation, be that PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever, I'm satisfied. And that's something that's, I think, lacking a bit, and that lacked a bit for the Nintendo Direct last week, where people just wanted so much, and there's only so much you can do during pandemic. So just for them giving us this much, Deathloop, Final Fantasy, I mean, even Oddworld. I've never played an Oddworld game. That looks fun. But yeah, I give it like a 7.5, I guess.
Yeah, I will say, just to kind of go off of that, I will say that PlayStation is doing a very, very, very good job at giving us games just about every month.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, if we're looking to slate from here, from starting of March until June, we're pretty much stacked, or even no, until August, we're pretty much stacked with like games. I think the only month that doesn't have like a release date is in July.
Yeah, we need a break, man.
There you go. Yeah. Catch up on whatever you need to catch up on for backlog.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of games on PlayStation that I haven't played. I mean, and I see all these. I'm gonna get them. They're gonna be there waiting. I mean, I'm playing Phantom Strikers. I'm playing so many. Man, I just saw you posted I think it was you, the PSP picture of an East game on PS. Bro.
Yes, E7. Yeah.
E7. Like I'm getting into the series also. I'm getting into so many different series because I never owned a PlayStation 1 or 2. I never played Sly. I never played these old games. My first PlayStation was a PlayStation 3. So it's like in the middle. My first two PlayStation games were Ninja Gaiden and Grand Theft Auto 4. Those were my entry games into the PlayStation sphere. But yeah, this was
nice. You got a buffet, man. You got a nice buffet ahead of you.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah. And anything that's been announced but doesn't have a date, I'm all here for it. And I'm pretty sure Bloodborne 2 eventually. Please.
Well, that's funny you say Bloodborne 2.
Nice segue.
Yeah. I actually had another segue lined up, but we got too far away from it. Because you were like, oh, PlayStation's doing a good job of providing games every month. I was like, you know what, PlayStation isn't doing a good job of. That's keeping Japan Studio open, man. Uh, um, so let's get into this next topic because this one hurts me, man. Um, so it was revealed. Well, first of all, let's start off with this. Like, since I want to say maybe December or like early January, we had been seeing that like some major like key figures from Sony's internal studio, Japan studio, were leaving the studio. For me, like the moment that this sort of like rose, like yeah, people leave studios all the time, but for me, the moment that this thing kind of like became like it really grabbed my attention was Kenichiro, I think that's his name, Toyama,
Hmm.
who is the sort of series creator of and producer, I think, of both the Siren series and, more importantly to me, the Gravity Rush series. He left Japan Studio, I think, in January or the end of December. He branched off to create his own studio, and he had been there forever. And I was like, what is going on? And then, news came out that he was bringing like a bunch of people from that studio with him. Days and months
Hmm.
begin to progress, and we find out more and more people are leaving. Just this week, there was a video producer who had been at Japan Studio for 13 years, man. He left. And then
Bro.
literally the next day, we find out this one of the producers from Bloodborne, Deracine, and Demon Souls, he left. And I was like, what the hell is going on, man? Like there's no longer like, as a fan, you can't like, overlook this. You can't damage control this and say, oh, it's nothing, it's just turnover or whatever. When these many people start to leave in such a short amount of time, there's definitely something going on. So then come to find out yesterday, um, Japan Studio is basically downsizing, which is really sad. This is the official statement from Sony to IGN. They said, or at least IGN says, that SIE has confirmed that PlayStation Studios Japan Studio will be reorganized following reports that game development at the first party developer will be scaled back. Um, in a statement to IGN, Sony announced that Japan Studio will be recentered around Team Asobi, the development unit behind Astro's Playroom. So their full statement reads as such. They said, in an effort to further strengthen business operations, SIE can confirm PlayStation Studios Japan Studio will be reorganized into a new organization on April 1st. Japan Studio will be recentered to Team Asobi, the creative team behind Astro's Playroom, allowing the team to focus on a single vision and build on the popularity of Astro's Playroom. In addition, the roles of external production, software localization, and IP management of Japan Studio titles will be concentrated within the global functions of PlayStation Studios. So that last part really bums me out because it kind of sounds like, aside from Team Asobi and Astro and sort of the wider Astros universe, it sounds mainly like it's gonna be like a support team, which really, really sucks. So what are you guys feeling about this?
Kind of sad now. I'm like, a lot of this, I was keeping up. Last thing I heard was the formation of Bokeh Studio, I think it was. Bokeh Game Studio, where
Yeah,
Keiichiro Toyama joined. I think he was one of the founders.
yeah.
Um, Macho, take it away. I gotta process this.
Yeah, it's what's going on, man. It seems like PlayStation is kind of like burning some bridges lately. I don't know what's really going on, what the kind of like their motive is, or what's really going on in the upper management or just overall, because like on top of just this news where they're kind of just losing some talent, it seems like they're also just losing a lot of the charisma that kind of we all gravitated towards when PS4 came out, and they were kind of making that resurgence. And now they're being very quiet, very timid, only talk when needed to, when they need to. And now we're getting like a little quiet news like this, where not even quiet news, like it's a huge thing where like they're
Mhm.
losing awesome devs and really great talent. And I think the reason was because they weren't profiting like the last couple of years.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
that's
is
what
that
they
what's
said. Yeah, but at
and
the same,
like and to me it's like, why not just keep that creativity around, especially when you have a developer like Media Molecule that came out with one project in like how long?
yeah, that's true. But and
And
like
Dreams didn't really do all that well from what we understand.
yeah, my thing is that like it really upsets me that a game like I truly believe a series like Gravity Rush could have benefited from a PC release. I don't understand how like we've started this. I wish they would have done this sort of multi-platform release thing a lot sooner, because I definitely think that would have given Gravity Rush, almost like a second life.
Dude,
But they
Gravity
started.
Rush is the perfect Switch game. What do you mean? Like it is the gravity mechanic. It is made for handheld. They could have done millions of things with this game.
They would have never put it on Switch. They would never have done that. But PC for sure. Like I definitely think there would have been an audience for that. And
Yeah, Gravity Rush is fantastic. I didn't finish
It
two,
is.
but Gravity Rush one is
Two's
awesome.
incredible.
man, like I have fond memories of. I didn't play the when it came out on the Vita, but so like my entry was through the remastered version that Blue Point did. And I just have good memories, man, because of that game specifically, because I was moving into a new place, and like I don't think I had internet at the time, and it was like February when the game came out, so that was the game that I was playing basically that entire like first couple weeks when I just moved into this new place and didn't have any internet. And like I don't know, I have really fond memories of that first game. And then Gravity Rush 2 is a fantastic game, man. Just in terms of both narrative and like
That
uh
score. That
yeah,
score.
the music, the setting is so cool, man. Of course, the
Yeah, I gotta
gravity
finish it.
mechanic is really cool.
Yeah. Cat and
Um
Raven rock.
yeah, dude. It's to me, it's probably like the most underrated, underappreciated PlayStation Studios title. Um and yeah, I'm really bummed out, man, by this news, because they're like a significant sort of like totem pole of like PlayStation history, right? Like they're synonymous with PlayStation. They've been there literally since the beginning, since Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. Like they've been there since the start. It feels like, and they're not 100% going away, but it certainly feels like that.
Yeah, it's just it like I don't know what kind of reaction this is to, whether it's just the market's changing in Japan where they prioritize handhelds rather than console experiences, or maybe PlayStation is thinking more of, they want to leave more of like those kind of style of games from Japan or China, just to be from third party developers rather than just from their own house, because obviously PlayStation USA is like doing incredible with their titles. So I'm not really sure what this is reaction to, or why they decided to do this, really, because those titles make PlayStation unique.
Yeah. I think the reaction is a simple one. Nobody bought those games. Simple as that.
You know what? You're right.
As as much as it hurts to say that, I don't think
And
like the community really went out there and supported the Gravity Rushes, the knacks, for good reason, for for knack, that I
For the culture,
completely
man.
I understand why people didn't go out in droves to buy knack, but Rush people definitely should have been out there for that. And then it's like I honestly, aside from Gravity Rush 2, I and then actually Knack 2 might have been the last one. I don't know what like fully developed like Japan Studio alone game they have made since Knack 2 and Gravity Rush 2, because everything after that has been like, Shadow of the Colossus, that was like a joint effort with Japan Studio and Blue Point, and then Demon Souls, that was a joint effort between Japan Studio and Blue Point. Deracine, that's a joint project with From and Japan Studio. So like I don't know since Knack 2, like what title have they done, solely themselves? Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a sad situation.
I'm checking to fact check to see if there's any titles that they did by themselves. Loco Roco 2 remaster. Nah.
When did that come out?
2017.
Okay, yeah. I
And
mean,
that's it.
that was the same year when Knack 2 and Gravity Rush came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
maybe
Wait.
everybody's golf, maybe.
No, after that one, you got Last Guardian, but that was with Team Eco. Shadow of the Colossus was with Blue Point. Deracine was with From. Everybody's Golf was with Clap Hands.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It just feels like they've been more so like in a support. Yeah.
And so Sony is like realizing that they're like, oh, yeah, just make it official.
I guess, man, but
I don't know. They helped put out some really like
they did, but
weird, weird if not great games. Like I'm looking now, Tokyo Jungle. If you guys remember that PlayStation 3 game, Soul Sacrifice on Vita, and yeah,
and
they did a
that's
lot of
the
great
thing.
stuff.
And not only that, you got some games on the Vita, and that's another thing that suffered the Vita. If the Vita had been as successful as they projected it to be, maybe it would have had a chance, but not even then. Because the Vita I don't know if it still is, but in Japan, it was like bigger than the PlayStation for some time. So having that accessibility, they could have very much picked up Gravity Rush remastered.
yeah.
And,
Or and also like I feel like at the very least, like why not have them as a VR team? Like maybe invest in them for that at the very least, because they only have like I think their Manchester studio and their London studio, I think, are like their VR teams. But I don't know, why not have Japan Studio doing VR titles? I don't know, like that's a lot of talent to just kind of just show them the door. You know what I mean? So
do you think that what was meditated first? The fact that it was going to be a support studio, or the fact that a lot of people were going to leave and then they made the decision, like behind closed doors?
wait, what do you mean?
Would you think that they first decided to, oh, we're going to transition Japan Studio into more of a support studio, or did they first get the notification of, oh, we have like a lot of talent leaving us, so we have to like act fast?
I don't know. I would feel like the former happened first, right? Because they've been doing that since like because Last Guardian didn't sell well, and that came out in 2016, and then
Yeah.
Gravity Rush and Act 2, those two didn't sell well either. So I would assume that after those commercially, this sounds harsh, but after those commercially bombed,
Yeah.
Sony was probably like, okay, let's kind of transition them into, I guess, just helping out other studios. But then at the same time, as those other studios kind of like decline in what they're doing, you kind of see the rise of Team Asobi with Astrobot Rescue Mission, how stellar of a game that was, and then Playroom comes out a couple years after that. So like, I don't know, man. It just, I don't know.
Yeah,
How you
we're
had
like
Project
we're
Stardom.
losing talent, but and the other spectrum of this is they're gonna focus a lot on, I guess, the Astro franchise, which
I hope so.
yeah, I mean, if I mean, from when we got Astro's Playroom, which is just fantastic. Well, when you get a
Right.
chance to play that, you're gonna be blown away, dude.
Yeah,
Like
no, I'm hearing
you're
great
really gonna be
things.
blown away when you play that.
I'm
That's
hearing
the
great
first game
things.
you have to play when you get your PS5.
I think it is the first one that I like. Literally, it'll be in there already.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I when I got my PS5, my I was with my fiance and we set it up, and that's the first game we played. And when I handed her the controller and she had to leave, she was like, "I don't want to leave. I want to keep playing." And and so one weekend I went up to her spot. I brought my PS5 and she played through the entire thing and even got like all like the collectibles and everything. So like if they can expand on that experience and make like a full-fledged game, then I don't know, they're gonna have something really special for like a Astro PlayStation 5 game.
Like a whole main title. They could make a whole like at the scale of Mario 64 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
Astro
dude.
is like the Mario of PlayStation.
I mean, dude, Rescue Mission. Even though I didn't play it, like a lot of people like regard that as like PlayStation's. I think like people regard it as like Mario 64, like for Sony. Like
Oh wow.
it was like
So
that.
they do mention it like that. Okay.
Yeah, like it was that good. I
Man.
think it has like a 90 on Metacritic too. Like that game is like really, really good.
Yeah, man.
Um, but yeah, man, I don't know if there's really much else to say, man. About
Hoping Bokeh Game Studio does well. I mean, they got some real talent in there. They have some screenshot of some art for their next big horror game. These are the people that worked on the Siren franchise. I only got to play one of them, and holy hell, that is frightening. It is a great game. I don't know. It's just hoping that the branching talent finds their own little nest to settle in
yeah, and they
and
land on
make
their feet.
even make even more greatness. Because honestly, they're not quitting. I don't see them quitting. They're not like just leaving for good. A lot of them are just branching out towards different studios and different projects.
Yeah. And then I don't know, like there's also a part of me that like feels that like Sony didn't like push these games hard enough. Like I there's a part of me that understands like yeah, you don't want to push out Knack and make that you don't want billboards and subway advertisements of Knack, but like Gravity Rush definitely could have benefited from more marketing and more of a push from Sony, and it just kind of feels like they left some of these titles like out to die. Like you look in comparison to God, like Last of Us Part Two or Ghost of
Mhm.
Tsushima or
Final
um
Fantasy remake.
yeah. But you know, those titles, the marketing that those games get, it's like why can't you give a little bit of love to Gravity Rush, you know?
Psych.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
No,
Um
dude. Can you imagine Gravity Rush with the haptic feedback upgrade? Oh my
that'll be
goodness.
sick, man. My one solace in this is that like at least Gravity Rush 2 ended off in a place where like I feel like that series like ended. I don't want
Oh
to say
yeah.
definitively, but it ended off where I was like satisfied and I was like, you know what, story wise, I don't need another adventure with Cat and Raven. Like it ended off with like a nice like little bow at the end.
Yeah, it
So
did wrap
like
up. Yeah.
so like although I will miss the prospect of having another Gravity Rush, I feel like narratively I'm satisfied with that series. So like it feels like I'm just trying to tell myself that like everything is gonna be okay.
It'll be okay, bro. It'll be okay. Hey
But
man, you can always replay it because I mean I'm planning on doing a fresh walkthrough of that game soon,
yeah, I might need to do that.
I actually got to finish it. I never finished
bro.
it.
It's good.
Definitely.
It's good.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna pour one out for Japan Studio, man.
Moment of silence. And I had hopes. I legitimately had hopes for this game, but RIP Anthem, and I truly it was
Wait, Anthem?
Anthem. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was like, what?
No, man. Let me tell you, this week the only soul crushing news was because that was the one game that made me a cynic. Right, every game that's announced now, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, sure, it's gonna be all right, yeah. But Anthem just made me like a full blown, like when you're a believer and then you have this traumatic experience and you're automatically an atheist. That's what happened with me. I'm just like, nah. Oh, you announced a game. Oh, great. It's gonna be crap. Because I just can't put expectations back up again after that. And the fact that it's canceled, it's gotta move on. Just how Japan Studios gonna change. Bioware is probably gonna do something else. I don't know, man. Games, man. Why is money? Why is so much? Why can't games just be games? Why can't production be free? Why can't people just do passion projects? Why does it have to be a business? Why do we have to live in this capitalistic world? Anyways, man.
That's the sign of the times, man. Um, but yeah, on that note, man, I think we could put at least from the time being, we can put like sort of the nail in the coffin for any chances of a Bloodborne 2. Um,
Don't
I-
say it, man. You didn't have to say it, Jay.
hey man,
Jay, you didn't have to say it. I knew it. Here's to Elden Ring. Here's to
I know. Well, Jim Ryan's not on Twitter, so you can't see any people who are just crying for Bloodborne 2, man.
Oh, man.
Speaking of people crying, man.
So that's a segue for everything.
Yeah, man. I have to bring the goods, you know. So Days Gone is making its way to PC, and
Hey.
Damn, man, that is a good segue.
Hey.
oh,
Stop gatekeeping. Do you hear me, listener?
Hey, this had some PlayStation fans in their feelings, huh?
Man, they were wearing their tidy whities that day.
Gosh,
Yeah, man.
It's
So
pathetic.
the thing that's absolutely hilarious to me about this situation is Jim. Listen, you can say what you want about Jim Ryan, but that man is cold-blooded, man. when he wants to be. So there's this statement in his interview with GQ saying that
GQ magazine. Can
yeah,
you just review it? GQ a fashion magazine.
We made
a
it.
fashion magazine to drop news like this. This
man.
guy.
So within this article interview, he talks about a lot of stuff pertaining. Some of these things include GT7 got a delay into 2022, citing COVID impacted development. Makes sense. And then he also talked about how Horizon Zero Dawn was actually successful on PC, so it was sort of like a no-brainer for them to continue down this path. Days Gone will release on PC in spring, but the thing that is most hilarious about me, this is what I was alluding to earlier, was that in the interview he says that the reaction to the move of putting Horizon on PC was not big enough. Like there wasn't a big enough backlash to this for them to change course in this direction. So they will continue to take mission steps in this direction because the backlash wasn't substantial enough for them to want to change their mind. That tells me that all the people on Twitter are so insignificant to Sony and their goals that
Y'all are tiny.
yeah, that and this is my issue with people on Twitter is that they think that they are sort of the end all be all, that they represent the sort of larger gaming ecosystem, right? When in reality, us on Twitter who are making podcasts and who are, kind of in the trenches and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like we are such a small, insignificant kind of like slice of the larger pie, right? And I don't know. I just find it hilarious that Jim Ryan is like, oh yeah, like the sort of like the backlash wasn't even loud enough for us to even consider, not even taking, like changing course of pushing games on the PC. So I just thought that was absolutely hilarious for him to say that. But yeah, man, what do you guys what do you guys think about this? And I guess sort of like the fans losing their mind over this.
What do you think, Marsha? You like these crybabies?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we saw this coming from a mile away. It's not even news that these PlayStation exclusives are going to PC and that they're going to do well, right? Because PC gamers, they will gravitate towards those PlayStation bangers that have been coming out for the past 10 years.
Hell yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait, do we could like yeah, Horizon. I got a lot of love for Horizon and Death Stranding to a lesser degree, but is Days Gone? Do we consider that?
No. I mean, I never played it. I'm just poking fun at the PC guys that were.
Am
saying,
I the only one that played it?
I didn't play it.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
Oh, I played it. I actually enjoyed it.
That's the one PlayStation exclusive I haven't played because I look at it and it's just like it just looks so like piss boring to me, man. It just looks so boring.
I mean, I'll try it out just because I got PS Plus and I was able to download it for free, and plus it has an update, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, I know I'm just poking fun at the PC guys that because it happens all the time where people are on the outside of the platform are saying, "Oh, this game looks trash. It's not great. It's over." Blah blah blah. And then when it comes to their platform, like, "Ooh, I'll play it." Like, like it happens all the time. So, I mean, again, I really care if like these exclusives go to multi-platform. For me, it's like, how's it going to look in the future? Are they going to be like simultaneously released on PC and PS5, or is it just going to be a little bit more of a lag behind? Because if all these PC players are getting PS4 games, and why not? That's extra money
Yeah.
for Sony, and it gets extra people like in kind of like that PlayStation ecosystem and get excited for the next game. So
Bro,
why
Last
not?
of Us, dude. Last
Oh
of Us
yeah,
2.
exactly. Yeah. Imagine if
Oh,
Factions 2 came out on PS5, PS4, well maybe PS4, who knows? PS5 and PC.
who knows? This man slandering. This man.
But
I've
like
been,
that would be awesome.
oh, go ahead.
No, I say that would be awesome if Factions came out like on PS5 and PC, and just we have like that nice like crossplay kind of vibe. That'd be
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
for
man.
sure. And like I like I was saying earlier, man, like games like Dreams and Gravity Rush could totally benefit from this move. It's giving them like a second breath of life.
I feel like the only reason that Dreams is still kicking a little bit, I feel like one of the big things is that there's still the fan-made Avatar game that's being made, which has been years in the making, and he's still making it, and you can catch him on Twitch
That
making the game
that's
on
the only
Dreams.
reason. That's the only
I
reason
feel
why
I
Sony
feel like
so
that's I feel like that's one of the only reasons that it's still kicking because
so
Wait, Avatar what? Avatar Last Airbender
Avatar
or
Last Airbender, yeah,
oh, I gotta look that up.
there
so
is an Avatar Last Airbender fan game being made.
so Sony's just kind of like looking in the background. They're like, "Hey, man, like we want to push this button to end Dreams, but man, hold up, this guy's making an Avatar."
Yeah. Nah, for real though. Yo, stream titles be like creating Omashu. This man is going by city. He's creating the whole world. It's insane, dude. It is insane.
That's
Y'all
sick.
should check it out. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, like it literally does not affect me at all. As long as I
Me
can
neither.
still play these games on my PlayStation, then like why
Yeah.
why do I care that other people get to play them?
As long as it
Um,
doesn't cyberpunk its way out of PSN.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play devil's advocate here and entertain that other side to see where we
No,
can go
Macho,
with
don't
it.
do it.
No,
Ah.
it's a lot of people are coming from like the knee jerk reaction is it devalues the console, right? It devalues the PlayStation brand because you're basically giving other people seconds and giving other people kind of like your exclusive meals. Um,
Let's go gatekeeping, everyone.
yeah, exactly. It's gatekeeping. Don't do it. But
Don't do it.
I was seeing it from the other side for like why people are so upset with this. And it's because it devalues like their console of choice. Where I don't know, man. To me, it's just like I'm into gaming because I love games.
Exactly.
Where I play them is a preference, and what control I like. All that stuff is preference, but all that is secondary compared to the games that I love and I want to play. So like I'm not gonna be upset at all if Square Enix wants to put Final Fantasy 7 Remake on PC and Xbox.
Hey,
Do
yo.
it. Do it, Square Enix. Do it.
Do it.
Let people play this game. The same thing for Final Fantasy 14. Let people play the game.
Bro, they brought Yakuza to Xbox and to PC. Like it's all over the place
Exactly.
now. Like they can do it. Yeah. Bring more
Exactly. And
games.
it doesn't devalue your brand, doesn't devalue
No.
anything. It if anything, it's
No.
gonna make it even richer because that's where that series, or not originated from, but that's where that series got its life going.
Yes, I right there.
Yeah, and like I see the argument constantly being brought up that like this ultimately like takes people away. Like now people won't have a reason to buy the PlayStation console. That this is like taking people away from the console and putting them to PC instead. And I'm like, I don't think like sure that's the mentality of like generations in the past, but like today's day and age, it's all about subscriptions and how much PS Plus subscribers and how much Game Pass subscribers we have now. Like the console is like slowly like getting less and less important. Like it's all about monthly active users and that sort of recurring monthly payment that you can kind of like drain from people. So like if Sony eventually gets to a point where they can put all of their titles on PC, but you have to sign into like a PlayStation Plus account or whatever to actually play them. Like I think that's sort of like the end goal for them, and then like at that point, the console doesn't really matter at that point anymore. Um, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, people can wait all they want for it to go to their platform, but the point is you're waiting. So it's really like a test of patience on how long you want to wait for that one specific game you really want to play.
For sure. If it's a game that I really want to play, yeah, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna go to the place. I'm gonna go to the place that the game is at.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why I have all worlds. That's why like throughout the years I try to acquire all the worlds so that I can just be at ease that no matter where it drops, I'll be able to get it. But not everyone has that luxury. Not everyone has that patience of just waiting, save up a bit of moolah, because obviously PCs are not cheap. That's another thing. They got to realize that automatically it's on PC. People are not just gonna go, oh yeah, I'll just buy a $2,500 PC or whatever, or I'll build mine. No, people don't have that patience. And it's how Macho says. There's preferences. Sometimes you just want to lay on the couch and pick up the controller and just play.
Exactly.
You want to sit on a desk and do the whole mouse and keyboard shenanigans. Although, yeah,
Oh,
there is controller support games, but it's a whole process. You have to turn on your PC. You have to log in. Sometimes I just want to sit down and play, man. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Kino. Like that game's coming out on the Epic Game Store, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I really don't care about the more like the bigger performance I can get on PC when I can literally boot it up on my console.
That's a console game.
Yeah, exactly. That's a console
game.
That's a game you sit down in front of a big screen TV and just go in on it. Like to me, I don't see myself playing that on PC.
Oh man, it's like Dark Souls. Playing Dark Souls on PC. What the fuck? Like when not not like not on the PC, but with mouse and keyboard. Like bro, people are savages. They play Dark Souls with mouse and keyboard. It's like, what is wrong with you? That sounds hard. I just want to lay back and die, but while on my couch and in comfort, because I'm already uncomfortable as it is in the game. I don't know, man. It's preferences, guys. Stop gatekeeping. It's like anime, bro. It's like when people are like, oh, you only like Dragon Ball Z, you're not a real anime fan. Shut the hell up. If he likes Dragon Ball, that's the only anime he likes. Let him be a fan.
I only like Bleach, so I'm a weeb.
Then yeah, you're a weeb. If you like one anime, that's fine. Golly. People get all pissy on Twitter and everything. Jesus Christ. Crazy.
So yeah, man, it's literally much ado about nothing, in my opinion. It's just funny, man. It's just so funny to see the reaction on Twitter, and then the fact that it literally means nothing to Sony.
Literally.
So yeah.
No, that's extra money in their pocket.
Nope, definitely. And it's like, and the thing is that like because all these people make the argument that it's once again that it's taking people away from PlayStation, but like there are millions and millions of people outside of our little bubble that like they don't even know that that for instance Last of Us or Horizon is going to PC or whatever. Like they only use these systems for Fortnite and Call of Duty, so these things don't even like register in their minds, and those are the people that PlayStation is more so focused on keeping onto their platform than console warriors.
Dude, it's the consumer, it's the average consumer. What my time at GameStop showed me how little I know of the average consumer mentality, because like half the people that I would take care of at the store, they wouldn't know about like half the games out. Like Last of Us, what is that? God of War, what do you do here? Oh, what is this? They don't even know what games they're buying. Like how don't expect your little circle to control the whole thing. It's like with the Sonic redesign. Oh, we changed it. I mean, the backlash held, but you personally didn't change it. Well, how up in your ass are you? Jesus.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
God, I'm heated.
So we are going to wrap up with one last little topic. So normally I don't really like to like bring in sort of rumors and stuff like that, but I think this one's entirely plausible. So the original leaker who leaked that Horizon Zero Dawn was going to PC, he recently just made a post that, hey, Horizon Forbidden West has been internally delayed to 2022. Um, I
Rip.
I feel like it's plausible, um, only because the game was scheduled for the second half of 2021, and just the fact of COVID, we know it's had an impact on game development in general. Um,
Mhm.
so if Horizon were to get delayed, um, that would mean we would only have this year. We had Destruction All Stars in February. We're going to have Returnal and then Ratchet, Final Fantasy again in June, right, Macho?
Yeah, June 10th.
June, and then Kina in August, Deathloop in May, I think. I mean, that's still like a pretty solid slate, but without Gran Turismo and Horizon. So would you guys be bummed out that Horizon wouldn't hit this year?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be honest, man. Uh, last December, something happened that if there's a delay, do it. I don't mind. I don't. You want to delay a game? Do it,
Uh,
man. Two
what, what,
years, delay it 2 years. Hell, I want to.
but wait a minute. What are you referring to?
I don't know, man. It's like Voldemort. You can't say that shit. It's like, man. Let me tell you. As mad as people get about delays, we last December we saw just how Cyberpunk can the most, I would argue, the most anticipated game the last generation right now is like a shadow. It's like people barely talk about it. It's like it's not even, whenever there's an announcement, it's like, oh, I even forgot there was an update.
Man,
Like there was this, you know.
I haven't gotten Cyberpunk, man. That's
I would
absolutely
wait. Just
I'm
wait. Honestly, I
well,
would wait for a sale, wait for an upgrade, wait for the wait for the Witcher 3 like definitive, like that last version where you have all the DLC, all the updates, all the fixes. Because honestly, man, I played it in December and I haven't played it ever again. Like I played it one session and that was it. But I played a lot of it, but I just, it got obnoxious. It delay games, guys. We have to normalize delaying games. That's a good thing. For Horizon Forbidden West does not deserve slander. If it has to be delayed, we can wait like a semester extra. You have a backlog, y'all. Y'all have a backlog. Take care of those games, and then we can worry about Forbidden West. We have,
Yeah, play Final Fantasy 14. Do it.
yeah.
Start it.
Play Resident Evil 8 when it comes out. Look at that lady, and all this.
Oh yeah, it's coming out in May.
Yeah,
Ooh.
man.
so Macho. What do you think this is possible?
Absolutely. I mean, it's again, it's not really like a complete surprise that so many games are going to be delayed out of 2021 because 2020 just hit everybody like a rock and trying to figure out how to operate. And
A whole meteor.
yeah, I think I saw a little bit of a conversation between Jeff Keighley,
I was
former
just about to
Nintendo
bring that up.
head, yeah, Reggie Fils-Aimé,
Reggie,
where he was, yeah, where he was
the
saying
man.
like most of the work that was done for the 2020 games were already done. Now
Mm.
it's kind of just like for the games that were coming out in 2021 or we're planning to, they're gonna feel the brunt of it because they're still in development and they're still trying to adjust to everything that's going on. And not every company has kind of like the workaround for it. I
Been
see
able
some
to
people
adapt.
throw it out where they're like, well, this company did this, or Capcom is pushing out these games, Square Enix is doing this and that. Not every company is the same. Everybody's going to be different, and a lot of these companies operate differently. So
And
that's something that we have to consider when it comes to the games that were supposed to come out this year, and they're more likely going to be delayed.
yeah,
and
and
and we gotta realize that the pandemic's not over. There's still strands being discovered. We have to be prepared for the possible outcome of maybe another outbreak. Hopefully not. If there, that's worst case scenario. If there is another one, we have to realize that a major delay in the entire industry is possible. Like quite frankly, like people, 2021 is set your expectations and clear your backlog. I feel like this is that year.
and like
Yeah, I
to
agree.
Macho's point, like I think Corey Barlog might have said this, but I think basically just like the general kind of consensus around game development is that like the real bulk of actually developing a game happens within the last year of the project. Like that's when things actually start coming together and you actually start to see like a real game starting to sort of
Mhm.
piece together.
The different
So
parts coming. Yeah.
yeah. And so like that all for all these teams, that moment is happening right now in the thick of this pandemic. So
Jeez, man.
yeah, man, that I can't imagine how tough that must be.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's interesting to kind of like see where everything's gonna go from here on out. In Horizon Forbidden West, that gets laid at 2022. Again, I'm not gonna be upset about it. It's gonna be a bummer, but like 9 times out of 10 when a game gets delayed, it's better in the outcome.
definitely.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
at the same time, that only bolsters Sony's lineup for 2022 with presumably God of War and then Horizon and Gran Turismo. So
Yeah, God of War is definitely not coming out this
yeah,
year.
for sure, for
Hmm.
sure. Um,
I wouldn't be surprised if Ragnarok we're seeing at the end of 2022.
yeah,
Honestly.
Yeah, yeah,
honestly,
yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake, where Part
Hmm.
2, I don't expect that to come out to 2023.
Yeah, honestly,
To be quite
honestly.
honest with you.
And the thing is, like, we don't know if any more big changes are going to happen throughout this year regarding studios, regarding leaving people leaving studios. So I'm honestly just prepared for the worst and with everyone, with every game. Like, yeah, we just I don't know, like Destruction All Stars. Oh, they're gonna shut down the server tomorrow. I don't know. I'm like preparing for the worst. Everything. I don't fucking know.
hey man,
Yeah,
don't say that.
can I just say though, when is Last of Us 2 PS5 gonna come out?
I don't,
I just want an update on that one.
I don't know. I'm
Uh,
low key scared about how they're gonna price that because I feel like they're definitely gonna they're gonna charge a premium for that.
I
I
think
mean,
so because we're coming up. I mean, we're like what, 4 months away from the game's release, like for a year.
March, April, May, June. Yeah, 4 months. So
yeah, the meltdown happened in June, right? Like May.
maybe.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that is pretty much going to do it, guys. Talked about a lot. A lot happened this week, man. Um, so yeah, you guys want to plug your stuff? You guys got anything coming out in terms of articles this week? Anything you guys working on?
Um, yeah, I mean, I have a couple of things going on. For lordsofgaming.net, I'm going to be reviewing Bravely Default 2. Um, I'm not going to be rushing it, but it is going to be on there. I'm going to see if I can put up a couple guides for that too. But since next month is March, it is your boy's birthday, uh, turning the crisp 27 years old.
Ooh,
Hey,
I'm getting old, man.
crispy.
And but for that month on lordsofgaming.net, I will be posting up some Kingdom Hearts guides, articles, and videos for people to get excited about the PC versions releasing on Epic Game Store. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, man, it's a King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy fanatic here, Macho. So thank you.
Well, personally, if I'm doing anything for Level One Gaming this month, I'll just be keeping updated with news and whatnot. If I'm doing anything personal, I like a piece, an opinion piece or whatever. I'm not sure yet because I have a couple of papers to write for good old uni. I have a mock interview for clinical psych, but that's not y'all's concern. That's something more on my end, so I have to prepare for that. Um,
Hey man, get that suit and tie ready.
yeah.
Make sure you iron that shirt, boy.
Oh man. Oh man. But yeah, no, I'll just be playing games, clearing out that backlog. I'll be anticipating that Bravely Default review as I finish up other games because I'm really interested in that game.
Oh yeah, I got you, man. I got you.
Appreciate. I'll keep updated with the pieces on Hitman from DJ here because that's another game that's on my radar to pick up.
yes,
Um,
sir.
Yeah, man, you're talking me into it. You're talking me
Bro,
into it.
it's so fun, man. It's so fun. I'm like 100 hours into it, man. I can't stop playing.
Jesus.
Yeah. I would
But
be I would be shocked if that game isn't in like the number one in my top three most played for this year. I'd be shocked.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I mean, with how the year's turning out to be, I feel like it'll be. It seems like it's gonna be a light year, but yeah. Where can you find me? At Walt Lando on Twitter. That's where I retweet all the pieces I write at Level One Gaming. I mean, just growing every day. Drink your water, y'all. Wear your mask, please, please, please. Got an uncle that was claimed last month. I need y'all to please do
Oh, I'm
protocol
sorry,
and
dude.
take care of y'all. Yeah, man. We gotta take better care of y'all self.
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for the second episode of the Dual Sense and Shock podcast, man. Uh, wait, that's it. Dual Shock and Sense. God.
Hey, yo, what happened, man? This is not the podcast. What happened?
Hey, I'm a double agent, man.
Oh no.
From another podcast.
Shit.
But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for us. I'm your host, Jay. You can find me on Twitter at the Book of JT. J and T is capitalized. As for this week, what I got dropping at Level One Gaming, the PlayStation Bros, and the Lords of Gaming.net, I have no idea, man. It just comes to me. So, but yeah, I'll definitely you'll see it on my Twitter, for sure. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.